We all have those knives that we would never think of selling in a million years. I mean, really, if we had to purge our collection tomorrow and get rid of everything, like, these would be the knives that would absolutely have to stay. Like, no questions asked. What's up, everybody? The Real Sharif M here, aka Manganus Steel, and today I want to delve into the topic of like those knives that are truly special to all of us. I pulled out a few from my collection that I think I would have a real problem like separating myself from under any circumstance. And I really want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What are some examples that, man, like if you had to purge, what would you absolutely keep? Now, just so you guys know, I didn't include any of my own knives in this particular list, just because I thought it would be a little egocentric and kind of a dick move, right? Like, oh, I keep my own knives. Yes, of course I'm going to keep my own knives. Like, duh, right? But at the same time, like, I wanted to show you guys some different stuff. So that's why if you're watching this, you're like, oh, why isn't Sharif going to keep his Grazioso? Why isn't he going to keep his VELOCE? Well, because you guys have already seen them. You know they're special to me. I designed them. Like, come on, right? Like, just go down this pathway with me. You'll see some cool shit. So please, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video down below. I'm trying to grow the channel to over 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really appreciate and need all the help I can get. Alright, so this is take 2 of this video. The first one that I did, I rambled a bit, and it was a top-down view. And it was really boring. Like, I was putting myself to sleep editing the frickin' thing. So let's see if we can do this with a little bit more energy, and I can get through these knives a little bit faster. So the first knife on the list that I would never ever get rid of is this guy. This is the ZT-0640, and this knife and the love of this knife is shared between me and one Patina Turner. In fact, actually, we both kind of bonded over this guy a while ago. And what makes this knife really so special to me is that it's kind of like the perfect EDC. Just long enough blade to do work, really nice design, phosphor bronze washers, definitely slow rollable, definitely can snap it out. It's an American-made knife using American steel from an American company. I mean, if you're not riding your eagle saying, America, fuck yeah. America, fuck yeah. Freedom is the only way, yeah. Now, yeah, this knife for me is perfect in so many different ways that it's really kind of hard to explain. The next knife for me would have to be this OG Pena Lanny's clip, man. This was I believe one of the original X series knives that Pena did with Riot. And the story behind this knife is basically between like my education, schooling, etc., right? Like I couldn't carry a knife for a really long time. So my passion and interest in knives had to kind of like fade into the background. And when I was kind of getting towards the end of my education, I was on vacation in San Francisco with a homie of mine, and we went to the pier. I can't remember the pier number, but on the pier there's a shop called Weeby Knives SF. And great guys, absolutely love them, have a relationship with the dudes. And before all of that happened, I saw this guy on display. And out of all the knives that they had there, this thing like straight up stole my soul. Like there's no other way for me to describe it. This was the first knife that I saw kind of like getting back into the world of knives that I was just like, oh my God, this just encompasses everything that I have come to love about knives, right? Bolster lock, my Carta, you know, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, recurve blade, clip point with a reinforced tip. I mean, dude, this thing is just phenomenal. Everything that I genuinely love about knives starts and ends here. And this actually began my love affair with Enrique Peña. Sexy, sexy. Now, we all know Ray Laconico is a master of minimalism, and he doesn't tend to do a lot of crazy stuff with his knives. But after you just saw that Peña, it should kind of come as no surprise that this is in my short list of just absolute favorite knives that I would never get rid of. This thing is the Easy E that he did in collaboration with Alliance Designs. And I love this thing. I think what I love about this knife is it's kind of that perfect size for everyday tasks and purposes without sacrificing anything. You have a bit of a thicker blade stock, a nice reinforced tip, as you can see here, for piercing. Bolster lock, which, if you guys know me, you know I love. Titanium backspacer, you know, milled pocket clip. All of that stuff is here. My Carta, just phenomenal. So if you didn't know, I come from an industrial design background. I started my education in design doing car design and trend and future forecasting, and then I transitioned my career towards product design and manufacturing. And in industrial design, one of the things that we gain a lot of inspiration from is architecture, believe it or not. You have these large, giant surfaces of these buildings, and there are some truly amazing architects out there who push the boundaries of aesthetics. Frank Gehry is one of them. If you've ever seen the Museum of Modern Art in Bilbao, I believe it's the Museum of Modern Art, or if you've seen the Walt Disney Concert Hall, the Walt Disney Concert Hall is like one of my most favorite buildings in the entire world. And when I used to live in LA, I would like sneak and hang out on it like in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'd like take dates there and we kind of like, you know, break in. So crazy architecture has always been a huge inspiration for me. And that's where this next knife, kind of my love and appreciation for this knife comes in. And that is the ZT0055 designed by Gustavo Cecchini. Now, Gustavo Cecchini is singularly responsible for inspiring me to really push the visual and surface boundaries of my designs. I mean, look at this thing. This is a mass production knife, but look at how crazy all of the surfacing is. There's tons of like micro milling here, different levels of surface treatment, and all of that within one knife. Nice, beautiful big blade with a compound grind. You have a thinner section up front for utility work and a thicker section for really like heavier duty stuff. And look at this beautiful blue pseudo like floating back spacer there. I mean, this thing is sexy, sexy. ZT0055 TLDR is Gustavo Cecchini blew my mind, showed me what is possible in the knife world. If this thing could sell, then my crazy ideas could absolutely sell. There is no limits to what you could potentially do in the knife world and innovate. Last but certainly not least, man, if you guys didn't see this coming, you haven't watched my previous videos. and that's the CKF Sukhoi 4. Yeah, this is never leaving the collection. I mean, this is everything that I aspire to as a knife designer. And if you looked at the previous examples of knives that I showed you, then you completely understand why this is so special to me. I mean, just the intricacy of the design, the layers, the micro milling, the zircotai, you know, pivot collars and pocket clip here, you know, everything that I like about design and knives is encompassed here. Beautiful blade shape, simple, you know, deployment methods. You have a great flipper tab, wonderful action. You can reverse flick it very easily. Great, simple, and neutral ergonomics throughout. Just stunning design, amazing craftsmanship, beautiful milling. Like, come on, like what else can you say about this thing that just, I mean, sexy. So I hope you liked my little list of the knives that are never gonna leave my collection. If you didn't, fuck you. But really, I mean, I'm sure I could have pulled out more and talked about them and waxed poetic about it. But really, if I had to pare everything down, you can kind of see that there's some logic to what I like and how they relate to one another and how they kind of transition. And there's a spectrum. There's a very, very clear spectrum. So let me know, you know, like I said at the beginning of this video, drop it down in the comments below. Tell me, what are some of the knives that you would never get rid of in your entire collection that really, if you had to purge everything, you know, what are your top 3? What are your top 5? What are your, God forbid, top 10? I mean, that's a lot to like carry if you got to purge everything. But tell me your top knives down in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy this little journey with me. Peace.